name's John Ainsworth, and I run data-driven marketing, and we build automated marketing funnels for info product businesses. The challenge that we had was that we were hiring from in the UK. And in the UK, we tried paying £10 an hour, then 15, then 20, and we still weren't getting the kind of people that we wanted. We still weren't getting the level of quality that we were after. And so I wasn't able to then hand off enough stuff, and I wasn't able to scale up. And so I tried hiring from other countries as well. I tried hiring from India, from various other countries around the world, Philippines, what have you, and we just kept not managing to get something that was either a good fit, or the time zones were a bit of an issue, or what have you. So I was getting pretty frustrated. I was just like, I'm gonna have to cope with this, I guess. And it just was, I don't know, it was driving me nuts. It was a real problem because it was tricky to scale the team. I was like, I have to increase the revenue a lot before I'm able to afford somebody who's good enough to be able to do any of these things. So I saw a forum post, and it was explaining about hiring from Eastern Europe and the huge benefits from it. And it was from a guy who I kind of had some messages with before. I knew he was legit. And what he did is he explained why you can afford to pay different amounts in different countries. He took the map from Wikipedia, and it was showing like, okay, here's the amount that people are making in various different countries around the world, and therefore how much you can afford to, how much people will take as wages. And then he laid out the case for hiring from Eastern Europe, and he'd been hiring from Eastern Europe for like, 2 or 3 years at that point. And it was the high level of education, high quality of the internet. It was about the fact that they were hardworking. It was actually harder to get people to work not too hard than it was to get them to work at to work hard enough. That you tended to have quite a direct culture, that you have people there who weren't going to bullshit you. They were like, right, this is what I do, this is how it works, this is what's wrong with what you've told me, instead of just going along with what you said, which for me was super refreshing. And I was like, yeah, I'm sold. This sounds really good. And he was like, you can afford to pay somebody like $5 an hour, it was at the time, like $800 a month, and get someone pretty good. And I was like, all right, that sounds good. I'm bought in. We started out hiring basic VA kind of work, just somebody doing some assistant work. And then the guy who I hired the first time, he has then, every time I've given him a challenge, he's risen to the challenge, he's done much better than I was expecting. He's just like, turns out he's way brighter than I am. Quite humbling, but also pretty awesome. So he's now my operations manager. I've then hired 2 people specifically for working on funnels, because that's what we do, is automated marketing funnels. And they're people who've got like copywriting experience, building funnels, design, that kind of thing. And then I've hired 1 person extra as an assistant as well. I think the one thing that you've got to think about, the only downside potentially, is are you going to be all right when somebody gives you really direct feedback when you say to them what you need doing? Because what you're going to get with Eastern Europeans generally is a really direct approach, where if you say to them, this is what needs doing, this is what I want you to do, and they can see that that's not going to get the result, they're going to let you know. They're not rude about it, but they do tend to be quite direct about it, and they're going to let you know. And to me, it's like, oh my God, this is fantastic, because I've now known about an issue that I wouldn't have known about otherwise. But it is, it's different. It's not necessarily the way things are done in the UK or in America, that kind of thing. So that's kind of something to be aware of. Apart from that, I just like, fucking hell, go for it, man. Absolutely, this is the place to be working with people from. There's some, a totally underused part of the world. People here are fantastic. They've got some great skills, and they're not currently, a lot of them are not currently working online. They're not currently realizing the kind of potential in all these roles that are out there, and like JobRack is like the place to go to hire these guys from. It has been astronomical, the kind of difference that it's made for us. So I'm working now with some of the brightest, hardest working, most determined people that I've ever had the chance to work with. They're brighter than I am, they are harder working than I am, they kind of put me to shame in a lot of ways, and they're able to do all this stuff where it's like, okay, so I've got this guy in my team who one day came to me with a problem, and he tells me, well, we've got this issue with this site. and I'm about to take this deep breath and start talking through what we might do about it. And he says, so what we need to do is we need to hire a developer in order to fix it. And I'm like, okay, right, let me just kind of explain to him about that. He said, so I've gone on to Upwork and I've found 3 potential developers. And I have interviewed all of them and I've chosen the best one. And I need you to go and put your credit card details into Upwork so we can hire them. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've never had anybody do that before. It's just a burden off of my shoulders where I've now got someone who is so like, there's this in Eastern Europe, there's this kind of like we'll just solve whatever problem comes up. So this guy has been able to just take all the stuff and I don't have to deal with it anymore. And he's now my operations manager, he just runs all the delivery and he does a way better job of it than I would do. And so that's all off my plate so I can focus on the next bit of work. So it's given me a team of people who are able to not just do the work, but do the work to such a high standard, figure out what work should be done, figure out what needs to happen next, solve problems when they come up, which I just didn't have before. And it's just, to me, it's what the whole business is built on is these guys, like the team, and they're just amazing. The guys over at JobRack, I mean, I know Noel now since I've been hiring through JobRack, and he's been so helpful. He's been, every time that I email him and say, right, I'm trying to sort out this or what a question about that, he's sorting it all out for me. He's letting me know how much I need to be paying for different roles. He's helped me to figure out how long to advertise, tweaking the job ad, making sure that it's just right, so that therefore I can make sure I get exactly the right people applying. And to me, I wouldn't know where to start with hiring through JobRack, because hiring through Eastern Europe. I don't know where to advertise, what else to do. It's like JobRack is the place that I go. Like, where else am I going to go in order to hire guys from over here? So to me, it's just been this awesome resource that's like available to me where I can go, right, here's some money and you guys go sort it out and send me all of the applicants. And yeah, it's fantastic. Can't say enough good things about them.